Hey guys, yeah, Steve again. I wanted to drop a quick video updating the Tyler Lopez case of Angelina County. Um, he had a court date on the 27th, and I attended. It was a motion hearing, I guess. Supposed to be his court date is what he was told, but ended up being a motion hearing. I'll go into details on that, but I'm going to go through it chronologically what happened. When I walked into the door and immediately um, Tatum was there, and he wanted to know who, he was asking who I was, who's that guy, whatever. And obviously, they knew who I was based on the video, Mr. Delfino, and they knew who I was. I know that because the fact is that when Tyler was walking up, he was instructed to go to the box after he had talked to the attorney, so he was in his, in his way going that way. And Tatum came up to me directly and said, "Don't email me again." So I took that with a grain of salt because apparently Mr. Tatum is not a very good attorney. One of the, I mean, he's not a very good attorney. He has no communication skills, no personal skills. And he's just mean. I mean, he's just a mean old son of a bitch. But anyway, he looked at me and told me, he said, "You don't email me no more." Well, let me just drop some news or information on Mr. Tatum. First of all, he is now representing a inmate of the county jail. He has been court assigned to actually do his due diligence in this case. This makes him a county official in this case. Um, he has to provide to the public a certain amount of information that doesn't cover the client attorney privilege status, what's been filed, when's his next court date, those kind of things. We should be able to call up and find out from his office. And for God's sakes, he's his attorney. Now, for those of you who don't know, well, anyway, through the course of the trial, it went on, and Mr. Lopez was adamant because the DA asked the judge to ask him, are you going to sign disclosure agreements? Are you going to sign non-disclosure agreements? Are you going to sign for a plea deal today? Mr. Lopez said, "Nope, I'm not." He has maintained, "I'm not going to jail for something I didn't do." I got to respect that. Whether this individual is guilty or innocent or whatever, I got to respect that. But anyway, so when it went on, Mr. Lopez stated in court to Mr. Tatum and the defense attorney, which is Stephanie Stroud, "I want a motion for a speedy trial, and I want a dismissal. I want either or. If you're gonna bring me to trial, I want a speedy trial. If you don't issue me a speedy trial, then I want to have a dismiss because obviously the attorneys are not ready." Case in point. Now, during this meeting, during this hearing, Ms. Cassels came in to instruct or to find out what was going on with this case. Because apparently it's become to the light of a lot of people, and they're asking questions, and I don't blame them. This is not normal standard operating procedure in these cases, and if it is, then there's a new law that goes into effect. It's going to be voted on in Congress here in the 88th Congress, and it says that they're going to rein in district attorneys for this type of behavior, for going rogue, for delaying people's trial and forcing a plea deal, for making them go back and forth. Now, the reason why we have a speedy trial clause, and it's in the Sixth Amendment, is this, because the fact is that speedy trial, it unclogs the court system. Plus, you get to hear your case and do time. Now, the the general law per the concept, general law per United States courts is 70 days. After 70 days, then the judge or the defense attorney needs to start asking about a speedy trial. The thing about a speedy trial is you're not just automatically granted a speedy trial. You have to ask for it. If you don't, then they just assume that you're willing to take your time, whatever. Mr. Lopez has actually put in three requests for a speedy trial. For a speedy trial. Not those are actually even on the record. However, in court, they couldn't find that motion, and then they wouldn't allow him to file for a speedy trial because he's actually it was said if you want a speedy trial, and if not, then I want to have my case dismissed. The district attorney's office is under the impression that you can't do both at one time. However, the fact is, state law and United States law says that you can actually do one form to complete, handed in by your attorney on your behalf, or you can file it yourself. That allows for you to request dismissal of the case or speedy trial. The form says whichever one, you get to pick, choose whatever. Somehow that motion didn't make it the 3 times. It didn't make it into the public record. So now they want to break up the 2 charges, and now they want to charge him separately on these 2 charges. One's a first-degree felony. It's organized crime activity, and the second one is organized criminal activity in third degree felony. Now, what does it mean? Well, for Tyler, it means this: is that he's going to have a court hearing on the 27th of March. Check the record, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I heard. It was 27th of March, and as soon as that trial was over with, then he was going to get another date to go to trial. So basically what we're looking at is that we're looking at another year, Tyler being in jail. The DA is offering 10 years. That's what, if he pleads out, 10 years. First, they asked for names. Tyler said, I don't know nobody. They asked for the names of people in the pickup truck. I don't know nobody. They asked for the name. And I asked Tyler point blank, I said, well, he said, because I didn't even know the truck was stolen. Nobody told me the truck was stolen. Now, here's the key point. People keep asking me this point. Then why did he run? Let me tell you why. Because in Angelina County, if you get stopped by the law and you're a black man in Angelina County, you're going to go to jail for something. Let me say it again. They're going to find something to take you to jail. In this case with Tyree, the individual who was beaten, I'm sure you all saw the video. He was beaten by 5 black police officers. It's kind of describes to you the thin blue line. If you're on that side of the blue line, you cover up for people. You say things, you do things, people cover up for you. But the issue is this, is that is the nature of law, as to the impact that law enforcement has on individuals, especially if you're black. It's common knowledge. I mean, people will state all the time, you're going to get a rough deal with the cops. They're going to be looking for a reason to prick and bust you, whatever it is. I'm reminded of a line that I heard. It was actually a comedian saying this, but anyway, he actually had a good line. He said, no, I ain't stepping out the car. No, I ain't stepping out the car. Cop asked him, well, why not? He goes, because every damn black man get out of a car, he ain't getting back in it. And that goes also for individuals who happen to be white or Hispanic that are considered lower middle class, or whatever. That's their target. That's who they're going after. And they're going to push. They're going to pull you over. They're going to drill you. And everybody knows when you get pulled over, you're nervous, whatever. So all of the individuals ran, and they captured him or whatever. And the fact is that um, it is what it is. But at no time did you see Tyler there. At no time did you see him in the truck. At no time. But anyway, that's just evidence that they say they have. Now, the next thing is on disclosure. Disclosure has been assumed by the DA just because it was posted in the Lufkin Daily News, and there was a video that was posted upon Lufkin Daily News, Facebook, those kind of mediums or whatever. They're saying that this is proof. Well, I hate to burst their bubble, but the fact is that you have to have the original video from the original comp cams. They haven't produced that for discovery. Everything they're going to hit Mr. Lopez with, they haven't issued a discovery. All they have said is, well, you can look on the videos. You can look on the videos. Well, a man is innocent till proven guilty. And if you can't put him in a time or place, then you got to let him go. Because it comes down to this. It doesn't matter what you believe. I don't care if you believe that this individual did it or whatever. If they can't prove it, you got to walk. That is our right. That's our Sixth Amendment right. We get a speedy trial and we get a fair trial. And that dog don't hunt if you can't prove it. So this is what we're up against, because the fact is that Mr. Lopez is saying, I don't want to sign a non-disclosure agreement. I'm going to, he's already said, I'm going to appeal this case. I'm going to appeal this case. And I don't blame him if he loses. Now, if Tyler should happen to go to trial, which will happen on the 27th, I don't believe that he's going to get the type of defense that he deserves. Let me say that again. I don't believe that he's going to get the type of defense he deserves. I saw it in court how Mr. Tatum was very rude to his own client. Put on a show like, well, I just got to go through the motions here. I don't really want you to do that. And he's got a law book. He's quoting out of a law book. Damn, as old as he is, you think maybe he might know the law on these kind of cases. But then again, I'm not supposed to email him. Down the links, I think I left Tatum's information down there. Just if you guys wanted to call and check up on the case, the Lopez case, if you guys just wanted to see what's going on, or you guys want to hear him yell and scream at you, make up your decision whether he should be representing Tyler or whatever, then please feel free to do so. You can even mention my name. I'm already needy to do anyway. So, and also I left Janet Cassels' name down there or whatever, because I want to know what game, because we need to have explained to us, like we're 3-year-olds, what kind of game are you playing? Why is a young man sitting in jail for 2 years and you keep procrastinating on the dates? They moved it back. He was supposed to go to trial on Friday. Now they moved it back a month to 2 months. Come on, man. I mean, in 2 years, if you're an attorney, okay, if you're an attorney in 2 years and you don't have enough evidence to go to trial, you ain't got nothing. Number 2 is the fact that this is why we have a speedy trial, to actually unclog the court system, to achieve disparity, which means the fact is that all the evidence is produced at this trial. We already know now on the 27th, Tyler's witnesses, they didn't even show up. It looked bad on Tyler because he had told his attorney they're going to be here, blah, blah, blah. Sure enough, they didn't. They didn't show up. His mother showed up and his grandfather showed up, which I had the opportunity and great pleasure of meeting both. And we went outside and we discussed the case. Now, like I said, I don't know if Tyler's guilty or not. I'm not advising him on whether to stay in the fight. I'm not advising him to do anything, whatever. He's a grown ass man. He can make his own decision. And I know for a fact the way I am is the fact is, you know what, I don't leave nobody behind. If this individual wants to fight it, I'll give him everything he can, everything that I can to help this individual out. So why? People have come to me and asked me, so, well, how do you know this guy? Meaning, how come a black guy is hanging out with a white guy, or a white guy is hanging out with a black guy? Didn't just happen now when we go to court. It happens now when we were in jail. Because the fact is, Tyler and I stayed up nights working on his case, quoting, researching, doing all kind of things on his case, so I could explain it, and then we could refer it to a law book or whatever. Now, those in jail, who we were with in jail, they didn't like the fact that a brother was hanging out with a white dude. I have no gang affiliation. I'm not a Peckerwood. I'm not an Aryan Brotherhood. I'm me. I'm a Marine. That's what I am. And I don't leave nobody behind. For those of you who are questioning that motive, I learned one thing real quick. We all bleed red. We all bleed red. We all bleed red. So I want to make this perfectly clear to everyone, and I'm probably going to piss some people off, but I think it's time. These type of things are going to keep happening to the black community. I've traveled all over the world. Um, Afghanistan, Turkey, Iraq, Philippines, Japan. I've been everywhere. Now I've seen every legal system that they actually have, or I have actually found out what the laws are when I'm in that country or wherever. But now the thing about it is that here's the issue we have here is that nobody from the community is standing up for Tyler. Nobody's showing up. I talked to Tyler when I first started talking to Tyler. It was like 2 months, 2 months after I got out or whatever, and he finally called me, and I knew it was him. I was hoping that he would call me. I just wanted to see how he was or whatever, and I was hoping it was him to get to talk to or whatever. I've sent him commissary. I've hooked him up with numbers and some points that he look up or whatever. I do the best I can. And for me to show up in a courtroom and see nobody there, especially his witnesses, that's a shame. That really is a shame. This community, and I'm not just talking about black, I'm not talking about white. What I'm talking about is that the people who they deem that is not good enough to represent the society or make their appearance of a good society, they're going to jack you with. I don't give a shit if you're black, white, or different down here in Texas. It don't make no difference. And we need to realize that. And the community needs to realize that. It hurt my soul because it was said, it's probably true, that Tyler, you don't want to go to trial with a bunch of white people from Angelina County. And I'll attest to that. We have supposedly a gang problem here. All the incidents of gang violence, Angelina, happened while Tyler was in jail. He didn't do nothing. He wasn't involved in none of that shit. But whether we can say for sure, we don't know. Now, if anybody out there that was his friend or used to run with him or used to, if you cared anything about about his ass, and you would freaking at least support him, at least get together and send some freaking money for his commissary or send some money for his phone times so he could talk to his family. Let him know you're there. Tyler told me, I asked him, I said, well, I said, man, ain't nobody, you talk to your mom, you talk to your brothers, you talk to anybody or whatever. No, man, he said, you know how it is. So once you go in, people forget about you. That's a damn shame. And I know Tyler, he's a fun-loving guy. I mean, he makes friends wherever he goes. So, as we have learned from Tyree in Memphis, who got beat up, they're doing the same type thing to Tyler, except they're not throwing any fists. They're putting him through hell. And why? Why would they want to do that? Because they want names. They want names, and they want them. They want to tie Tyler into all these gang members or whatever. I don't know if Tyler's in the gang or not. I don't give a shit. But the fact of the matter is that there are 8 individuals who've they already pleaded out. There are 8 individuals who've already pleaded out, and they are serving their time in TDC. And the one name that they keep dropping is Tyler's. Now, it comes down to the fact that, you know what, they're dropping Tyler's name, whether he's guilty or not. But anyway, the DA is sticking on that because they want to get Tyler in the freaking box. I want to put him on spot and force him to give names. He hasn't done so, and I don't believe he will. But really, I think that there should have been, and it disappoints me, the fact is that nobody attends his trial. Nobody calls the top. Nobody will write him a letter, and it's getting hard for him just to survive. Because the fact is that it is in jail, man. Any day can break out in a freaking fight, and he's enduring all that just because he's actually he wants to prove himself not guilty. So for those of you out there that call Tyler your friend, reach out and help. Call Tatum and Tatum. Call Cassels. Call the commissioners. Let them know that you know what's going on. Let them know that the community knows what's going on. There was another individual, his name was David Stewart. They did the same thing to him. Now, they got him in jail because the fact is that, they hit him up with all these sexual abuse charges. But all they were really doing is talk about circumcision. But anyway, come to shove, when they went down to the trial, they had to drop the sexual harassment charge, sexual charges against him. And they got him for perjury, aggravated perjury. Had to do 2 years for that. Now it's come down to the point to where it's like, God dang, Tyler's going to be in there shit. If they want to charge him 10 years, charge him 10 years. He's already going to have 3 done. He gets 2 for 1. But that's not the case. Tyler wants to prove his innocence. And I can't blame the guy for that. Now, I'm going to spread this video. Least you could do, even if you don't give a shit, just spread it to somebody else that might. Because it's a shame that I see an entire community allow this to go on, not only to Tyler, but to other individuals, and we don't say nothing. There's a law that's coming out, actually hit on September the 1st, unless it's being voted in early, and it's cracking down on rogue DAs. The Attorney General will be able to investigate the district attorneys and see what these type of patterns are. And they have the attorney. They have the ability to remove them from office or charge them with a crime. Depends on how better or worse it is. If you think you want to make things better here in Angelina County, not for you, just for your help, but for everybody else, and you want to have this place where you want to grow up, then now's time to stand up. Even if it's even just for the shits and giggles, because the fact is the way Tyler was treated. We're not talking about the trial yet. We haven't even seen a trial yet, so we can't even comment on the trial. But to keep a man in jail for that long, it's wrong. The United States has set a precedent of 70 days, or they should be pushing for a speedy trial, not in Angelina County. So, with that being said, Tyler, Tyler appreciates everybody who shared the video of Del Safino. It it woke up some people, and whether you realize it or not, just by sharing that video, um, a lot of people got it. A lot of people didn't know that this was going on. A lot of people like, whoa, and they're looking and notice a pattern here. We've noticed a pattern that these individuals are staying in jail longer than they should. Now, here's the big lie. The big lie is the fact is that they haven't gone to trial because of COVID. Okay. How long are you going to blame COVID? Somebody made a comment. If you believe in county attorneys, I didn't say that. What I said was the fact is we need to hire other attorneys who's actually retired. I mean, not attorneys, judges. I'm sorry, judges that are retired that can come back on the bench and handle misdemeanor cases so we can unclog the system. Did you get what I say, man? Or did I stutter? Not answer for Angelina County judges that actually make decisions on this. No, we're not. We're talking about getting qualified individuals who have practiced law before and have actually served as a judge, district judge. That's what we're talking about. So, with that in mind, I'm sorry people get pissed off at me or whatever, but here's the deal: is that I believe in law and order. I believe in that because it protects us from the night. But the fact of the matter is that when law and order is not practiced within the Constitution, then we have to say something as individuals. People here think that our voice don't matter. You're probably right. Your voice don't matter. My voice don't matter. And we don't matter. But we get together, guess what? They start to listen. And we're not just doing this just for the Tylers of that are in jail now. We're doing it for the future individuals that come up that can actually we have the opportunity to stop this kind of behavior. Being in jail, not being accused of a trial for more than 2 years is a crime. Cruel and unusual punishment. I don't know if anybody knows it today, but there's a hunger strike going on. I can't remember I think at TDC, and I'm not really for sure where it's at. Anyway, they're having a hunger strike. Because the fact is that, you know why? Because they're locking people up, put them in solitary for years. I put guys with life sentences in jail for years. They're forgetting about them. Now, this is something that we need to stand up and avoid before it actually gets there. And we hope that this law will change our status of any district attorney that we actually hire or we actually appoint. They will uphold the law without prejudice, go after the lawbreakers, but give them their time in court. Don't be afraid and use an individual to beef up your other cases. It's chicken shit. It's bullshit. And it's a game that many attorneys play. That's the reason why in the Constitution they say, well, it's after 7 days you need to start thinking about a speedy trial. And how does Judge Insman fit on it? Well, it's all happening in his court. He's allowing the district attorney to dictate what he does in his court. I know this because I was there. Stephanie Stroud interrupted him 3 times when he was trying to make the decision. He can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. Shut up. Let the man, the judge of the courtroom, talk, please. Who's making the decisions here? Let him talk. But it's obvious the district attorney's office is working with our judges, whatever shape form you want to take it. And they're buying the excuse that, oh, it's COVID. COVID's been over for a long time, and I know a lot of people don't been back to work. So it takes us another 2 years after COVID. Go try and get caught up. Well, I don't believe that. So thank you guys for listening. Once again, just giving an update on Tyler. He's doing well. He's really anxious. He's really getting tired of playing the game. They tell him he's going to court. Gets ready to go to court. No court happens. It's a hearing motion. They didn't tell him that. And what really hurt Tyler, this not only hurt him personally, but also hurt him legally, was that his witnesses never showed up. And that hurt him in the eyes of the court. It hurt him because the fact is that without his witnesses there, they couldn't have went to trial anyway. So don't be that guy or girl, man. Don't be that person. At least stand up for what you believe in. At least post and share. At least make your own videos. But don't forget about Tyler. Like I said, I don't know if he's guilty or innocent or whatever, but I really am. I have a problem with the way that they're actually treating him when he's in jail. It could be me. It could be you. And Mr. Lopez is making a stand to make sure he said it on tape. I just want to make sure this shit stops. I couldn't agree more. You guys have a good weekend. It's a weekend. Have a good weekend. For you the Cowboys fans, I'm sorry, man. But I will say this about that is that get rid of Dak, get rid of Elliott, keep Pollard. We're going to Super Bowl. I don't know who we're going to put a quarterback, but shit, Cooper Kupp didn't do a damn bad job. But anyway, it's not the point. Remember Tyler. Remember what he's standing up for, because he's not just, you forget about him, but he's not forgetting about you, because the fact is he's actually saying, I don't want this to happen to anybody else. He's not only making a stand for himself, he's making this stand for community, and you got to admire that. You guys be good, be careful this weekend. Have a great one. If you have any comments or whatever, hit me up. If you have stupid comments, make sure you looked it up before you tell me something. Because the fact is, I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna call you out if you're wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to say I'm sorry. Anyway, please post and share. Thank you guys for listening.